Hello, welcome to my channel, Sunshine Central. Happy New Year! I'm looking at my calendar and it's saying January 1st, and I'm so excited for the new year. But my name's Misty. Hope you have an amazing year this year. And today I am fleshing out my OC from 2024. That was 2 years ago. So I created Yu Jin back in November of 2024, and this was when I was fleshing out like an idea for my webtoon. I always wanted to make a webtoon or some story that had continuation, so just always having ideas for a webtoon was always okay on my mind, and that's where Jin came in. Oh my goodness. So today I'm gonna do two illustrations, the original promo that I did in 2024 and the updated version for this year. And this year I might make a webtoon, but that's so much work and needs so much consistency that I don't think I'm gonna be able to do it. But a girl can hope and dream, okay? So let's get into it. So first things first, it's important to understand the plot of the webtoon and how Yu Jin came to be, basically. So the original webtoon was to be about a mobster, like a mafia guy. I'm a sucker for dark romances, but finding a good one these days is like finding a pin in a haystack. I even said a grammatically correct idiomatic expression to express my feelings. Oh my goodness. But anyway, so it was supposed to be about a mafia boss who was murdered. Okay, first it was supposed to be someone who makes adult toys, you know what I'm saying? But that was not making any sense because why would he have any enemies? Doesn't make sense. So I made it about a mafia boss who was murdered and was reincarnated into a girl. The girl happens to be Yu Jin, so I envisioned her being this spoiled rich kid who has has some bits and pieces of her old memories as a mafia boss before she was reincarnated, but she doesn't really like piece it together. She's just an angry kid who gets really violent when she's angry and stuff. So I kind of thought about it and was like, okay, this is not a rootable MC, main character. So thinking about it now, I'm gonna make her more relatable, more likable, even though she's from a very mega rich family. Like, we can project what we want on a character. So she's gonna be rich. She's gonna be really nice and really kind to everyone. She's gonna be someone who's from the struggle because her past life, before he became a mafia boss who ran the streets and stuff, the mafia boss, who also has a character that I'm making, and the video will be part 2 of this. The mafia boss came up from a really poor family, was an orphan, and had to like build himself up and make this mafia cartel stuff big thing. And I think the setting will be East Asia, most likely Korea, because it's Yu Jin. That's a very Korean name. This is back when I was a weeaboo. I was a Koreaboo, okay? And so again, character traits of Yu Jin for now are gonna be kind, nice, relatable, very humble about her upbringing, and doesn't like handouts. She just likes building and working hard. She doesn't have a short temper, but when you get to her, you've gotten to her, and she's gonna be hella violent. That's why in all the renditions I've done of her, she has some sort of blood. So for the first one, which you're seeing right now, if you hear chirping, those are my turkeys. Okay, they're not pets. They're really tiny right now and they don't understand social cues. But anyway, so the very first rendition, I imagined her. So the very first image is a 3/4 view of her face. The second one is a full view of her face, like straight onto the camera. There's another one where she has blood on her, dripping down her nose as her fist is up, so presumably punching someone. Another one, she's wiping blood from her lower lip. And it has different hairstyles. Each one has a bit of different hairstyle, and kind of the one with her fist up shows a bit of her school uniform. The webtoon will be following her through high school and just a tiny part of her childhood, as you see like some parts of her memory coming back, as you see her how she relates with her peers because of how different she is, just to see a glimpse. And that's what I was thinking about, just having her be a high school girl. Now for the second illustration, this one I did last year. Oh my gosh, I did in 2025, a couple of days ago. And in this one, she has she's posing. She's not posing, she's squatting down, and at the end I make her just sit on a curb. But I wanted this to like be something to see, to really understand her personality. So I wanted her to be very intimidating. I want you to look at this girl and be like, damn, she must be running the most meanest, prettiest girls in the school. So that's why she's posing in this pose. Girl, I tried everything to make it look good, and in the end it looks really good. But I had to find references. I can't really link this reference because I just found it on Pinterest, but it really helped. And I was really tempted to just like draw on top of it, but I was like, okay, I was doing pose practices a couple of days before, so I was like, okay, let's put those into practice. And it came out really good. So the pose is her just squatting, and I added a cigarette, even though she's presumably in high school because she's gonna have her high school uniform on. And she's smoking a cigarette. I didn't put the smoke. I forgot the smoke completely. But it's fine as long as you see the cigarette there. It implies she smokes. And I wanted that to be like a drawback to her old life where it would be very normal for people around her to smoke. So that's a habit she picked up from her previous life. And I wanted this webtoon to kind of be a look into generational stuff, into generational curses and stuff, but in a very mundane way, like just a very fantastical way where, oh, she's reincarnated, oh, blah 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 blah. A lot of her past habits have come into her new life and stuff. A lot of her previous people from her previous life who were really bad coming back into her life as people, like just generational stuff. Because that's a really good way of putting things that happen in real life into a very fantastical setting. They think that's really cool. Another thing I wanted is for in the webtoon, in the storyline, as the story takes place, of course there's going to be a lot of stuff happening, but another major plot point after the reincarnation and stuff is going to be her running across her killer. Dun dun dun. So I was thinking of the timeline that this had to be in. So let's assume that the mafia boss, I'm not going to reveal his name just yet. It's not like a major name, but I want you to come back for part 2. Okay. So the mafia boss, let's say he died in 1999, okay, at 30. Let's say the person who killed him was 30 as well at that time. And then in 2000, this girl reincarnated. Well, she wouldn't be in high school, she'd be 26, okay? So let's pull that forward. And let's say she died in 2007. Okay, no, he died in 2007 at 36, okay? Let's just say that. And then the girl was born in 2008, okay? That would make her right now approaching 18, okay? So, if you think about it, the killer, who is presumably 36 as well, plus 18 years, that's going to be around 54. Am I tripping? I pray that I did that mental math correctly. So it would be possible for her to cross paths with the person who killed her in her previous life, and then the story kind of progresses from there. So I don't know what happens from there. I don't know what happens in between there. So that's kind of why making a webtoon is like super out of my reach, because before I think of those plot points, it's gonna take some time. And I'm really thinking about her sexuality because, okay, I'm putting my Christianity a bit aside for this one because this is a really fantastical thing that I'm thinking about right here. So let's say, it's not a let's say, she was a male mob star, a male mafia boss, okay? And she's now a teenage girl. So is she gonna be interested in guys? That would be pretty weird. It's like in Mr. Queen, where the main character was a male chef and then he time traveled. I don't know what he did, and then he became a female in the Joseon period or Joseon dynasty. I'm not sure if it's the Joseon dynasty. This is a 2019 drama. I'm trying to remember. So I think she was not interested in men at all, because it's kind of like similar but different, because he just suddenly became this woman and had all the memory of his life as a chef in modern day in the Joseon period. But in my rendition of this story, it's like she has bits and pieces. Like she can remember some stuff that makes her the way she is today, like the violence, the anger, the solving problems with your fist. There's construction going on. Oh my goodness. Okay. But anyway, the sentiment of just solve your problems by punching in the face, those things, she kind of just picked it up from her previous life. So I don't know if she's gonna like remember like I'm more masculine, because even the more intimidating parts of her, the violent parts of her, it's kind of masculine, okay? Femininity isn't really associated with those things. So thinking about it, I'm not sure, because I have two other images of her with a girl. This one is a bad image, okay? It's not like bad in the NSFW sense. It's bad in the I don't know how to draw in side profile. And this is like 2 years ago. But I have that one, and then another one, which I assumed she would be with a guy in a school dance. I'm going to insert them somewhere here. And I don't know. I don't know if I should make her bi to move the story forward. I don't know if I should make her lesbian to like move the plot further, because of course when he was a mafia boss he had many women. A man loved plenty women. I will marry all of them. That kind of womanizer. Or I'm just gonna, because her dating men doesn't really make sense to me. Okay, so it might be a GL, but I'm still thinking about it. And you can help me too in the comments. So what do you think her sexuality should be? You did not, I don't know. I'm gonna do more research. I don't know how I'm gonna research that. I'm just gonna do a lot of inner work and think about it. And another thing about the webtoon is that I wanted her to be really close to her parents, because in her previous life, as I said, he was an orphan. I don't even know how to address them, but she's a she, her. That's 101%. Maybe just in the more masculine side of things. So I was really thinking of her really respecting, loving, adoring her parents, because this wasn't something that was really readily available to her in her past life, you know? Really studying hard, not being much of a party kid and stuff. You know, I don't know. I'm still fleshing those things out, and when I do, um, when I do decide if I want to make this a webtoon and stuff, that's when like the episodic planning and stuff will come into play. But for now, this is just an original character. So, with all that said and done, okay, I don't think I have much more to say. If you want a different video on how to pose characters, I think I'm in a place where I can teach someone how to pose characters. And if you're interested, please don't be afraid to comment it, because I love reading comments if someone drops in there. And if you heard any background noise, I'm really sorry. I'm gonna try and find a more quieter place to film. But I'm from an African household. I'm Kenyan, okay? YouTube is not something that we do, even though my dad is a YouTuber. Okay, not full time, but he is kind of one. He live streams and stuff. So I think he would understand if I just say, Daddy, I want to film at this time and this time. No noise, but it's really cringy. Being a YouTuber is a really cringy job, but I'm willing to be cringe so that you guys have premium hearing experience. And if you enjoyed this video, please leave a thumbs up, share with your friends, and be ready for a part 2, which is going to come this week. Okay, no, next week, because I still gotta enjoy the new year. And with all that, I love you, take care, and I'm praying that you have a really good new year. And bye bye.